Welcome to Try It On, where we return to ourselves. In this is the space where awareness meets the nervous system and real change begins. I'm Tiffany O'Harn, holistic healer, nervous system guide, and speaker. And this space is for you if you've done the work. You understand your patterns, but you're still find yourself reacting, overwhelmed, or stuck in the same cycles. Here, we're not just talking about healing, we are practicing it in real time through awareness, nervous system regulation, and learning how to move from reaction into response. Because you don't need more information. You need the ability to pause, to feel safe in your body, and to choose how you show up. So don't take my word for it, try it on. And today we're talking about something that quietly shapes your entire life. And it's your state. Because most people are trying to change their life through effort, through mindset, through thinking, through pushing themselves to be different, through doing. But what they don't realize is you do not become what you want. You become what you repeatedly feel. You are what you repeatedly feel. And if your nervous system can't hold something new, you will snap back and you will keep returning to what's familiar. And so if you ever felt like you have a good day, but then 6 not so great days, you understand your patterns, but you're still repeating them. Or you're trying, but nothing is actually changing. And the reality is that it's your state. And so this is why. And this is today what we're going to be breaking down so you can really start to see what you're actually practicing and how to begin shifting it. And so with that, let's dive into what state actually means. Because state is your emotional baseline, who you are, or who your state is, who you are most of the time, right? It's your internal environment, your ecosystem. It's the place that you will continue to return to again again and again. And it's not your best day. It's not that one joyful day, but then 6 of the other. It is the 6 of the other because it's the one you most practice with or on, right? That state is your most practiced one. And so, yes, it's super wonderful when we have a great day. But let's think about that. 6 that are anxiety ridden, overwhelmed, depressed, right? Those are the most practiced ones. And also, you can live in joy for the other 6 days. This is what we're teaching. This is it right here. You don't become what you want. You become what you repeatedly feel. Think about that. Really let that land. You can't intellectually think your way out of this one. If you want it, you have to become it, right? And so right now, you've created a life based on what you repeatedly feel. And so there's 2 things that really help create our state. And one of them is something we keep talking about. Well, both of them essentially. It's your nervous system. And what feels safe. And the second is your self-concept, your identity, who you believe you are when no one's looking, when no one's around. They work together in harmony and they reinforce each other. And so again, the 2 things that create our state is nervous system and our self identity, our self concept. And so, if we think about our nervous system, if your nervous system is mostly dysregulated, which it likely is, your system is constant fight or flight, which is that dysregulation. It is not open, it's very closed, it's defensive, it's reactive, it's controlling, it's overwhelmed, it's stressed, it's anxiety. And you cannot expand from here because your nervous system continuously snaps back to what is familiar, which is dysregulation. And you can't change from there. You can't expand. When your system is regulated, it's going to feel open. It's going to feel safe. It's going to be receptive. That's when you have access to your intuition, the sovereignty within you, the authenticity. That's you. And within this safe, open state, or nervous system regulated, you can receive. You can expand your capacity. You can integrate everything that you seek from a calm nervous system. And the nervous system and your self-concept, your identity, they go hand in hand. Because you can't shift your self-concept if your nervous system isn't safe. And if your nervous system isn't safe, you can't shift your self-concept. It just continuously falls back to what is familiar, right? Your state. That's the life you have created. And again, that's what is familiar to you. And this is why change doesn't stick, right? You hear something new, you feel super inspired. I do this too, right? But your system rejects it. And it's not because something is wrong, it's because it's unfamiliar. And you can't expand from that. The nervous system doesn't feel safe to expand when it's in dysregulation. And the identity then locks in even further. That's not me. That's not possible for me. Your nervous system will agree. And so you return to what is familiar. You return to what it is that you know. It's not your fault. But this is the shift. These are the shifts. This is how you change your life. And if you don't believe me, try it on. It's why you're here, isn't it? And so this is the pattern that everyone experiences, right? Until you choose something different. Again, it's like one good day, 6 other dysregulated days. Back to fear, back to anxiety, overwhelm, stress, burnout, contraction, reactivity. And it's because you're returning to that most practiced state until you practice something different, right? I mean, don't you want that? You know, it's so funny because, people get really triggered, so to speak, by people who have good days, people who are genuinely pretty cheerful and loving and kind. And I've worked at that, right, for myself. And it is funny how their nervous system rejects other people being that which they desire. You are here to have an amazing life. You were here to have, be, and do anything that you want. We're not here to be dysregulated, beings. We're here to live amazing lives. You are here to live an amazing life. I promise you this. And you can wake up 99% of the time, amazingly so, ready to expand, ready to create. It is a choice. And when you arise with a regulated nervous system, you have authorship over you, over what experiences you will have. Because again, in your most practiced state, that is what you experience. So if your most practiced state is anxiety, then that's what you have created. Anxiety. And that's what keeps coming back to you. Right? And so if your most practiced state is loving, expansive, kind, authentic, boundaried, regulated, responsive, and not reactive, can you imagine the life you can create? Wouldn't you want that? Wouldn't you want to wake up every day feeling amazing? Going to work with a spring in your step, spending time with your children, enjoy, your partners, enjoy, your friends, your coworkers, just elevated and elevating. That is possible. This is the narrative that has been, that these are the beliefs that we have attracted to, that this is not possible. Because everything on social media is like, well, if you have anxiety, then let's all, come together and be anxious together. Mm-mm. No, that doesn't help. That hasn't helped anyone. That's just a huge matter for your ego and your dysregulated state. And here's the thing. You are not a victim of your state. Say that with me. I am not a victim of my state. I am practicing it. You are practicing it. This is where the shift really happens. If you continue to exist in victimhood, which you will with a dysregulated nervous system, and that's what you will continue to snap back to. But think for a moment, imagine what it would be like to respond instead of react, to create instead of loop back to what's familiar. This is the work. This is how you can do it. And if you don't believe me, try this on. I would love to hear your comments. Like, subscribe, share. This message is for those that are ready to truly change. Because it is all within. You don't need anything outside of yourself to do this. You don't. It is all within you. And it is so beautiful. It's so beautiful. It's so exciting. It's so exciting when we can truly step into that and understand, oh my goodness, I have had it all along. But not for blame, shame, and guilt, because here's the thing. Your nervous system wouldn't have held it. You probably wouldn't have listened to it a year ago, a month ago, even a day ago, right? There's no shoulda, coulda, woulda here. It's just your next aligned action, your next step. Stop reacting your way through life. It's not going to help you. It hasn't yet, right? This is why we're here. This is why you're here. And if you don't believe me, try this on. And I also invite you to check out the other teachings that are posted on YouTube, and we'll continue to filter through the podcast and on Substack, because this is it. This is it. This is what you are seeking, because it is all within you. It is all within you. Having your chart read, your human design, energy healing, this is all really powerful stuff, right? But it's not going to shift you. Working with your nervous system and catching those moments of dysregulation and showing yourself in those moments that you are safe. That is how we move past our traumas and our wounds and our beliefs to have, be, and do whatever you want. And so let's bring this into something real. And for this week, we'll just start with a day. And then you can go to 2. And then 3, right? Is just notice without changing, without fixing. Just notice and pause throughout your day and ask, what state am I in right now? What am I feeling in my body? Is this open or is it contracted? And then just a tiny bit deeper. Is this familiar? And is this the state I return to most often? Because that will be a huge aha moment when you're ready for it. Is this the state that I return to? And then, what am I practicing now? Because whatever you're feeling, you're reinforcing it. And so if you're feeling anxiety, you're reinforcing anxiety. Everything is a threat. Until you are regulated, you will continue to experience anxiety because you will reinforce it, because your nervous system is looking for the evidence of it. If you are depressed, you will reinforce it. And again, it's not for judgment. It's not for shame. There's no blame. There's no guilt here. It is awareness. This is what this is all about. This is for awareness. And when you can truly embody that small practice, you really feel what it is that I'm sharing, that I'm guiding you towards. Because it's all within. And the freedom that comes with this, like I can't wait for you to message me and tell me that you tried this and how much control over your own life, over you felt. Because most of us who are anxiety-ridden, fear-based, overwhelmed, stressed, we go to the doctor, they give us a pill, it never actually works on anything. We haven't calmed our nervous system. So you can't alter your state. But this practice, you will see. And you will feel it, because that's what this is about, right? You got to try it on. You got to try it on. And so again, we're noticing, right? We're not fixing it. We're just noticing it. And you pause throughout your day and ask, what state am I in right now? What I'm feeling in my body, because sometimes it just comes as a feeling. We just feel it somewhere. And is it open or is it contracted, right? And then you can go a little bit deeper. Is this familiar Is this the state I return to most often? Because whatever you're practicing, whatever you're feeling, you're just reinforcing it, right? So just take some awareness. It just takes some awareness. And awareness creates space, which creates a response versus a reaction. Oh, the magic in it all. Gosh, it gets me so excited. And I hope it does for you too. Don't you want this? You're here. So of course you do. This is how we change the world. This is how we change the world, by changing yourself, by expanding your capacity, by regulating your nervous system, by developing the most beautiful self-concept of yourself. That will change the world greater than anything else you could possibly do. I promise you that. And so breath is something so powerful that I love to go back to. It helps regulate our nervous system. And so if you notice the contraction, that pull, take a slow breath in through your nose and a slow, slightly longer breath out through your nose. And let your body just soften just a little. Throughout your day, practice this. Practice dropping your shoulders, softening your face, dropping your jaw, allowing your brain to open up like a beautiful lotus flower, and breathe. You're safe. You are safe. This is how we shift. This is how we create space. Awareness is what interrupts the pattern. It's not effort. It's not force. It's awareness. It's awareness. And this is not forcing a new life, but it is creating a new state, because your nervous system determines what you can hold. Your nervous system determines what you can hold, and therefore your state determines what you can create. If you are dysregulated, you cannot create. You will just snap back into what is familiar, which is why our life continues this hamster wheel, this loop. And the real shift is when you regulate your nervous system, because you expand your capacity. You become open to possibility, to miracles, to creation. And you shift that identity within. And change is the byproduct. It becomes available. And this is what manifestation actually is. Manifestation is not continuously thinking about something. Well, let me rephrase that. It is. But with a dysregulated nervous system, you will attract the opposite. You cannot attract from a dysregulated nervous system. And so what manifestation actually is, it's not thinking differently. It's not forcing beliefs. It's not affirmations, but it's becoming someone who can hold something new. If I said to you, you can have $1 million, right? You might be super excited in that moment. But then your nervous system will snap back and say, no, we can't have that. We're not good enough for that. That would never happen. And all of these other really, really critical things, because it hit a dysregulated nervous system. It doesn't have the capacity, right? And this is not about creating $1 million. It can be. But it's about becoming someone who can hold something new. That is manifestation. That's it. And so you don't become what you want. You become what you repeatedly feel. And so the question is, what are you practicing? Because it is a practice. Every day you're practicing. Because what you're practicing is what's creating your life. What you are practicing is creating your life. Let that land. Because it may feel negative, but goodness gracious, it's so not. It is so powerful. What you are practicing is creating your life. Excuse me. And if you're ready to go deeper, I offer one-on-one support. I'm in the process of creating a community and some self-guided workshops, as well as live workshops, because this is the work. I also have astrology for deeper self-understanding, and it's all designed to help you regulate your nervous system, shift your state, and choose how you show up in your life. Because real change doesn't happen in your head. It doesn't. It happens in your body. And if you don't believe it, try it on. Try it on.